Even after reading books and watching so many videos, things just fly away? Then you have landed on the right place. Why do we even do this programming? And what are these programming skills? Lots and lots of programmers program lots and lots of programs. Why do they do so? In our day-to-day life, while using a washing machine, we know that it consists of programming, various ovens and various appliances also consists of programming, like robots, the Alexa that we use in our day-to-day life. There are many such examples, like vacuum cleaner, the automatic vacuum cleaner that is operated with the help of a mobile also consists of programming. Thus, a software engineer works hard to provide us with such gadgets and appliances. Now, let us reveal the concept of OOPS. In early days, that is before OOPS, procedure-oriented programming was used. Now, what is this procedure-oriented programming? Consider two functions f1 and f2. f1 consists of certain instructions and f2 consists of certain other instructions. When the programmer needs to execute f1 function, he will execute the f1 function and write the codes for it. Then, when he'll need the function f2 to be executed, he will write the codes for f2. Again, when he's needing f1, he'll write the codes for f1, and then if he'll need f2, he will write the codes for f2. Consider an example. A man working as a painter. He will paint the wall, okay, and the next work that he is doing is eating. He will again paint the wall and again he'll eat. Again paint the wall and again he'll eat. The programmer writes codings for painting the wall and then for eating. Then he writes the coding for painting and then he'll write the codes for eating. Now, in programming, it's not the case that there'll be only two functions. There may be more than two functions, like you're seeing here. You can see that function f1 is calling function f4 and function f4 will be dependent on f5, and after that f6 will be executed and then f7 and then f3 and again f5. So to execute these many functions, we will have to copy and paste lines of codes over and over again. So doing the same thing again and again, it's a tedious task for a software developer. To avoid this, the concept of object-oriented programming was introduced. Before object-oriented programming, when procedure-oriented programming was used, everything seemed like a noodle. The object-oriented programming helped solving this problem. So let us understand what is an object first. This concept of object-oriented programming is being used in languages like C++, Java, Python, and many such languages. In the real world, objects have attributes and functions. You can see a car and a fan. Both of them have certain kinds of attributes and functions. Every object in the world has certain type of attributes and function. In programming language, if you are programming on employees, then employee will have a certain type of variable. Your class will have certain type of variable and certain type of functions. Let us see through an example. Here you can see a car. This car is having certain kind of attributes, certain kinds of functions. It will have attributes like weight, colors, model, price. Functions like start, accelerate, brake, park, gear, changing, etc. Similarly, if you're writing a program in programming language, if you're writing a program on employees, you're writing all the program related to an employee, then you're Then what kind of variables and what kind of functions you're going to use? The variables that you're going to use is employee ID, employee name, date of joining, employee address, etc. Similarly, the functions that you're going to use will be like weekly tasks, daily tasks, salary calculation, etc. Now let us understand what a class is. So, what is a class? Let us understand what a class is with a real world program in C++. So, we will understand what a class is. Here I have taken a header file hash include iostream.h and hash include conio.h. Why do we use these header files? I'll tell you later. Now, this is a class employee and I have used a public access specifier. Here I have taken an ID and a function, that is I've taken a variable ID and a function f1. Also, I have defined this function f1 over here. I've taken a function f2. Now, this is the void main, that is the entry point of every C++ program. Here, I've taken CLR SCR. Now, this CLR SCR is present in this conio.h. CLR SCR is used to clear the screen of the previous output screens. An employee EMP, what is this? Employee EMP, by writing this, I have created an object. My object has been created over here. And emp.id is equal to 1001. This is how I have given a value to my ID. Now, cout value of ID is equal to emp.id. That is, value of ID, I have executed the value of ID by using cout function. This cout function is present in iostream.h and employee.f1. By writing this, I am calling the function that I had created in class employee. I have called it by using object emp and then I've written getch. Okay, so let us see whether it runs. Yes, it's running and the output it's showing me is value of ID is equal to 1001 and it is function f1 as I wanted. Here, I had taken emp.id is equal to 1001 and I had printed it by using cout function. Value of id is equal to emp.id. And after that, I executed this function. Hence, I first got the line value of id is equal to 1001 and then it is function f1. Its definition, f1's definition was given in class employee, but we have called it in void main. So by creating the object of the class, we can call the variables and methods that have been declared in the class. So this is how we create an object and call the members of the class. Now, this is a class. You can see the class is having variables and methods. These variables and methods can be accessed with the help of objects. By creating an object, we can access the variables, we can access the methods. So till now, we have understood what a class is. Class actually gives you a blueprint. Hence, classes are also called as blueprints. They are the set of instructions for creating objects. Means, classes are having all the sets of instructions that are required for creating an object, as we had seen in the previous program. It provides initial values for variables. We had seen in the program that the initial values are given in the class itself, initial values of the variables as well as of the methods. In the next video, we shall see the 4 pillars of object-oriented programming. Please do like, share and subscribe the channel for more such interesting videos.